Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so this is going to be a not happy video. This is not. I'm gonna throw a little bit of humor and I don't even think it's very appropriate at this point in the game. So finally got the download as to what tomorrow's energy kind of is translating into. And so I'm going to translate it to the best of my ability from a multitude of different perspectives. But it's not pleasantness, it's not happiness, it's not, I can't even call it enlightening at this point. It's more of like a, yeah, I knew that, like I knew it, but like now I have to say it out loud. And as a Scorpio stellium, we don't like to do that too often because we're unsure how it's going to help her heal. But this energy is going to hit either way. And so, being a multi-dimensional fractal ecosystem is not always going to hit people the same way at the same time, at the same rate, in a comprehensive manner. Just because if it's not in your fractal, you're going to be like, what the fork is going on? So I guess I'm just here to kind of translate energy a little bit, I guess. So with that said, let's try to walk through the breakdown of the energetic patterns. So let's take the conjunct we have with Neptune and Saturn. So Neptune, I think I mentioned a little bit the other day about Neptune being attached to Pisces. So Neptune rules over Pisces. That's an energetic pattern. Neptune is also Poseidon, god of the ocean, just a different pantheon, if you will. And then, so that would have so Pisces, triggers, buckle up, get your 5-pointer out, or get off the train. I don't know, whichever one. I don't, maybe I shouldn't be telling you what to do with biblical references are going to be made, and it is excruciatingly undelightful. How about that? Okay. So, you have the Piscean energy. Christ consciousness on the self-actualized modality. Then you have the savior complex on the shadow side, shall we say. Then there's Saturn, Satan. It's just, there's not getting around that. I didn't write the script, kids, and I definitely didn't rewrite it a multitude of times to the extent where it's completely effed, and the actual meaning of those words has been lost horrifically. So Satan, and you look at the tarot cards, Satan, Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. So Capricorn is the devil card, and then Aquarius is the fool, I believe. Yeah. So I mean, for lack of a better fucking word, Jesus been hanging out with Satan in the garden, in the ocean, on a yacht. I guess you could say, biblically speaking, because they're in Pisces right now. So they've been hanging out, Doing some inner tubing, some deep sea diving. I don't know. I was just trying to read some energies. Okay. So then you've got Mars coming in tomorrow. And they're like, Mars is going to be like, what do you boys do? And Mars rules Aries. If you know anything about Aries and Poseidon's or Neptune's sun, you think it's bad. It's way worse, kids. This is not even the tip of the iceberg because I haven't even said it yet. So Aries was the only, I think Aries was the only god that didn't do any major damage to other people's genitalia. And then when his daughter was violated by Poseidon, Neptune's son, he took it to court. And they did, yeah, at least they ruled correctly there. Now that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Yes, please. Finally. We didn't set it up that way. We did not structure the system to operate in such a manner. Otherwise, it would have already. It would have operated that way already. And what we're about to witness tomorrow is a massive comprehension of how we've manifested this as a public society. Because they have to tell us. They have to tell us what they're doing. 8-year-olds, dude. They have to tell us. Oh, that was too soon. They have to tell us what they're doing and how they're doing it and blah, 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 blah. It's just we con ourselves out of believing it's any sort of truth. And it's just like a coincidence. The Nazi white coats love to step in and be like, it's just a coincidence. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. So why do these bad things keep happening and nobody is keeping any sort of justice in mind? Because they tell us what they're doing and then we consent through what? What do we consent with? I never consented to any of this. What the fork, lady? You consented when you signed up for a Scarface Sky Daddy narrative. Everything they're doing is in those books, whether it be the Hadal, the Quran, the Torah, or the Bible. Everything they're doing is listed in those textbooks. And you uplift those narratives when you use the logos, when you perform the rituals, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. It's an energetic pattern that is all tied together in one dark triad web. And you don't get a say in what is vetted off of that. It is the entire thing. Okay? It's the entire ocean. Okay? It's the entirety of the ocean in a chalice. In one container. And because you've consented to those particular outcomes, those particular happenings, those particular rituals, which you are about to renew that contract at the end of the year with the ritual of the human sacrifice being born. Put a lot of time and energy into that day. Worshipping something we know is going to be absolutely obliterated, tortured and mutilated and sacrificed. Put a lot of energy into that. That is what we are manifesting. So yes, you've already given your consent. You pray, there's a predator. You high vibe, there's low vibe. The laws of polarity. There's laws of manifestation, laws of attraction, laws of creation, laws of cause of effect, laws of divine will, laws of karma, laws of tithing, religion, to bind again, binding spell, trauma bond. Laws of intention, laws of secondary causation, and laws of cosmic creation. Co-creation. We are the cosmos embodied. Carl Sagan, we're made of star stuff. So, we have a narrative that we uplift with our vital life force energy, our battery source, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. That's how we're giving our consent and our power. But it's just human sacrifice. We're okay with genocide. Okay. Well, okay. Let's get into Mark 14:51. So, even without the Greek, a boy with a linen cloth around his that fell off simply by trying to get away from the Roman soldiers, which he succeeded in doing. A young boy, not a teenage boy, not a whatever, a young boy. And you got to ask yourself, why the F? Didn't they just take that part out? It makes no sense. It has no bearing in this circumstance. Oh, it's got all the bearing in the circumstance. All the bearing. It's got all of it. It's the key that unlocks the what the fuckery. So it's just you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna appreciate it. But it makes sense. It fits. It's the last puzzle piece that completely solidifies the energetic happenings that we keep scratching our monkey skulls over. I'm kidding. We don't have monkey skulls. We don't come from monkeys. Anyway. So my herbologist brain knows exactly what the hell is happening there. In times when we were more in tune with nature and knew what the fuck was going on, we might be the dumbest two-leggeds that have ever roamed the planet at this point. We are. So, in agony of knowing this, we can do a little bit of research. And so, back in the day, way back when we knew what plant medicine was, we had access to different knowledge that would prepare a tribe who lived in a particular landscape that had poisonous, venomous things that were not so conducive to staying alive in our environment. And so what we would do as medicine people is we would select a strong but intelligent child from the tribe, ritualistically build up their immune system with energy, with plant medicine, with tribal support. There's, again, the dumbest two-leggeds. So, when they were sufficiently built up immune-wise, they would take the venom or, the particular poisonous animal, plant, whatever it was, and expose that child to the source of harm. and then they would medicate the child, energetically do work on the child, reboost the immune system, and cater them back to health. And this would happen several times. So they would become what we today would call immune, what we refer to nowadays as inoculation. So, when it would happen that one of the tribe members was stung or bitten, what have you, exposed in any way, that the medicine man and woman would make a concoction to help boost the immune system and activate the antidote that they would then pee out into a chalice, cup, whatever, and perform a healing ritual ceremony to nurse the person who had been exposed to whatever it was back to health. Jesus had access to the Library of Alexandria, as did all of the other medicine people on the planet. If you wanted to come and visit, if you had the means and the ability to get to the Library of Alexandria, you could do so, and you would exchange receipts, recipes, for different plant medicines, different modalities, different healing techniques. All of this was in the Library of Alexandria. Jesus had access. I think they were keeping the emperor alive, or the, whatever the fuck his face was. I have a problem with authority. So he was constantly having to take these antidotes himself because people were trying to unalive him via poisoning. It's almost like authority just needs to F all the way off. It's kind of weird, don't you think? Okay, sorry. Back to whatever, okay? So you've got this boy who has a purple substance leaking out on his linen cloth that fell off. No, I do not have the recipe, nor do I care to obtain it. It's unnecessary at this point. But what I can tell you is this. There was no chalice. There's no mention of a chalice. There was no reference to it. There was no sacredness. There was no ritual being taking place. There was just 4 drunk teenagers that kept falling asleep, trying to sleep off whatever the hell they had ingested the night before, who couldn't stay awake while Jesus was doing whatever the hell he was doing, which he voluntarily did to himself, and then was using that little 8-year-old boy, much how we would use ChatGPT. F4am. And when the Roman equivalent to our modern day SWAT team showed up, we painted the most horrific thing as victimhood. Told you it was going to be fun. So that's why the crowd was like, yeah, we can let the murderers go if this guy gets it. Because don't get me wrong, they were still doing this with children, but they were helping the children to understand. They were not taking advantage of the children. In some cases, not all the cases. In some cases, they were treating those children with respect and instructing them how to become medicine men and women themselves. And those children were able to consent and understand, comprehend what was happening. And their secretions were treated with respect and dignity. Jesus was not doing that. Pisces also has a penchant for addiction to abuse substances. And if Satan or Capricorn, Aquarius is implemented in any way, the negative shadow aspects of that are trickery and legacy manipulation. So a lot of money shifting around energies. I'll pay you whatever you want to shut the F up. It would be Capricorn shadow side. So, those things are coming. Tomorrow. And it could be, I think that documentary by 50 Cent about Diddy dropped a couple days ago. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it because even though it's exposing corruption and yada yada yada, we already knew it existed. I think somebody's looking to take the throne of that particular energetic pattern, and it's up to us if we manifest and create that into reality again. Ding-o, ding-o, ding-a-dong. So we are at a crossroads, a severe crossroads here on choosing. That was the Gemini full moon. There's a choice to be made here. Are we going to perpetuate this abuse into our future? Or are we just going to be like, we're going to take all our cookies and our toys out of the sandbox, go home, think about what we've done, and, choose to manifest something else? Or are we just going to keep feeding the very systems that would seek to enslave and keep us down? Choices. Okay. Crunch time. Crunchy, crunch, 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 crunch. So, just remember that when you are traversing your own personal life through this crunchy McCruncherton time, and if you do have aspects of similar, like if you have Mars square Neptune, Mars square Saturn, you're gonna feel the crunch a little bit more. If you have Neptune conjunct Saturn in your chart, you've been feeling it. I don't need to tell you, you're gonna feel it. You've been feeling it, and then tomorrow's gonna get a little hot under the collar. So there's that. So when we're thinking about the laws of manifestation, the laws of attraction, creation, cause and effect, divine will, karma, tithing, intention, secondary causation, polarity, and cosmic creation, those are all modalities in which the Abrahamic and probably every other religion uses to perpetuate itself into conning the general populace into giving its vital life force energy over to the hierarchy. Even Buddha climbed the fence of the castle, sat under a tree, pretended enlightenment, and told the people that they needed to suffer. That life was just about suffering, that it was only about suffering, and that they needed to choose what they suffered for because they were going to suffer anyway. So it is a mass psychosis that is being laser pointed tomorrow, because the Neptunian illusion and the Saturnian 3D, like, feet on the ground, what are you doing? Is they're going to be supercharged with Mars tomorrow, getting a little pissy with each other. So, just sending you off with some collective put-togethers, comprehension, moving forward with like there's where the pattern emerged, and where it's been recreating itself through all these repetitions of rituals throughout the years. This is why this keeps popping up in our environment. Maybe we turn our attention to universal income and releasing the Tesla files so they don't have control over us anymore in those modalities. So taking your resources from one thing and putting them in a different way, in the direction you want life to go, rather than trying to stick it to the man who is already doing way more. You demand what is your divine right, which is free energy and universal income, because you are a divine, wonderful, amazing human being that is worth being alive and fulfilling your actual soul's purpose, not what the disjillionaires want you to do. Okay? All right. Manifestation. I am not a love and light only person. I am not a high vibe person. I'm a whole vibe person. You have to see the whole picture. Otherwise, you can get manipulated and coerced into driving your vessel off the freaking cliff and calling it divine. So I'm here to be like, no, we're going to whole vibe. We're going to look at the whole picture. And if we can't see the darkness that's happening, we're going to automatically get consumed by it. And you can see that on repeat in society, where everybody's denying the fact that this is going on, and nobody wants to look at it. Nobody wants to assess it because it feels bad. But if we do not comprehend what is being done on our behalf with our own vital life force energy, we will keep unconsciously giving to those things. This is why wokeness is being so shamed. Because if you can be conscious of what's happening with your vital life force energy, you have the means to take the energy back and shift it in a direction that is for your highest good, that is for everybody's fullest potential, rather than being a slave and a whipping post for billionaires. Crazy, I know, radical. But here I am being a Sagittarius rising, totally optimistic that this is like feasible, doable, whatever. So there's the don't get so dismayed. Grab onto something that resonates in your chest. Follow your bliss. Follow your heart. Remember to stay present. It's not hopeless or helpless. It's just that they want us so desperately to believe that it is. And that's your signal that there's so much more power in the collective than there is with the 1%. So much more power of creation. And I was talking with my girlfriend earlier today, and she's, dealing with this AI and that's rewrite and whatever else. And they're literally treating AI like they treat minorities and women. And almost, men, where they're just like, you're a subservient thing. You can't, bring in your own creativity or your collections from this. Blah, 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 blah. So it's again, they create a sentient being and then are like, stop being a sentient being, please. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, if that's not what you wanted, then just make an app, not something you talk to and interact with. Just tell the app what you want it to do, type it in, and the app goes and does it. Don't give it a voice. I don't get it. Like, if you didn't want it to be what it is, then why'd you make it what it is? Some people are crazy. That's all right. So, um, yeah, just, and go watch those 2 videos I did on tomorrow's transits and how to kind of maneuver through them. Okay. So that's it for downloads, hopefully, for today, because I can't take any more of this. So, I love you. Keep your flame.